This week, the Queensland Maroons win by their biggest margin in 11 years. Welcome to the Sports Playbook. I'm Daniel, and we are Australia's weekly sports news podcast covering men's and women's sport. So here's the week in sport and everything coming up this weekend. In rugby league, the Queensland Maroons win Game 2. In front of 91,000 people at the MCG, the Queensland Maroons had to win Game 2 to keep the series alive. For the New South Wales Blues, they were looking to potentially wrap up the series. But for the Blues, that did not happen. The game started in a bizarre fashion when Todd Flegler dropped the ball on the Queensland Maroons try line to give Katoni Staggs the first try of the game, which meant the Blues got out to an early lead. That was extended through a Mark Nawaqanitawase try where the dual international on debut scored in the corner. The Blues at one point were up 12-2 and were pushing the Maroons, but then the momentum shift. Queensland went down their left-hand side of the field through Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow. He made a break through some poor defence in the New South Wales Blues, and they set themselves up for a try. 12-8, but a big moment where Cam Munster got sent for a HIA, a head injury assessment, straight after this try. Thankfully for the Maroons, Cam Munster was still able to play in the game after he got approved for his HIA. But the second half started and all the momentum was in Queensland's favour. New South Wales did not start well and they were unable to get out of their own half when they were attacking. And this started the Selwyn Cobbo try scoring festival. Cobbo ended the game with 3 tries to his name. And it's crazy to think that only last year, Cobbo was in the State of Origin wilderness when Billy Slater remarkably did not pick Cobbo at all throughout the series. He has well and truly turned his fortune around. But the big one here is Sam Walker. Only 2 games into his State of Origin career, he is a State of Origin future legend. He converted every single try for Queensland and had a pivotal role in every try assist for the Maroons team. But it wasn't just Sam Walker that starred for the Maroons. Their spine was absolutely on fire. From Harry Grant to dummy half to Cam Munster, the 5'8" with poise and calmness, and Caleb Ponga knew exactly when to inject himself into the play. Mind you, Reece Walsh never actually got onto the field. That's how much the Maroons had the momentum. They didn't even need to use their X factor off the bench. The game at one point got to within 8 points with 19 minutes to go. And this was through a fantastic try from Mark Nawaqanitawase. He stopped and propped and made Selwyn Cobbo stop in his tracks before he went over 3 Queensland Maroons players to score his second try. But what was baffling, with 20 minutes to go, Ethan Strange or Abby Coruscant had not taken to the field for the New South Wales Blues. And this was a fundamental error for the Blues. And in the end, Queensland just ran away with the score. This was the highest score by a Queensland team in 11 years. The final score, 44-24. We now head to a decider on Wednesday, the 8th of July at Suncorp Stadium, and Queensland well and truly had the momentum going into it. In tennis, the Williams sisters are back. Venus and Serena Williams are returning to the prestigious Wimbledon tournament at the start of June. Venus and Serena have been granted a wildcard entry through the Wimbledon organisers. This is the first time since 2022 that both the sisters have played doubles together. And it's been 10 years since Serena and Venus teamed up together at Wimbledon back in 2016. They have an impressive record of 14 Grand Slam titles, that is double titles, and they've never lost a major doubles final together. One to watch heading into the Wimbledon tournament. In netball, the Australian Diamonds team has been selected. The Aussie Diamonds team has been selected for the Commonwealth Games, and there's only 12 players that have been selected to travel to Glasgow. Liz Watson goes to her third Commonwealth Games as captain for the Diamonds. And alongside Liz is vice-captain Kate Maloney. And Jamie Lee Price will be making her Commonwealth Games debut. And the rest of the squad is as follows. Kira Austin, Courtney Bruce, Sophie Dwyer, Sophie Garvin, Matilda Garrett, Georgie Horgis, Sarah Clow, Cara Cohen, Kate Maloney, Jamie Lee Price, Liz Watson, and Jo Weston. Those are the 12 players that will represent Australia in the Commonwealth Games for netball. Go the Aussies. In football, the iconic superstars stand up at the FIFA World Cup. Argentina defeated Algeria, and Messi scored a hat-trick in Argentina's first game at the World Cup. It comes almost 20 years to the day that Messi made his debut at the World Cup. Erling Haaland scored twice for Norway as they went on to defeat Iraq 4-1. And Kylian Mbappe from France also scored a double, including an incredible goal from 20 metres out. France went on to beat Senegal 3-1. In athletics, Gout Gout has broken another Australian record, but it's not what you think it is, because the distance is very rarely run. It's the 150 metre event, and in this meet at the Golden Spike in the Czech Republic, Gout Gout clocked a 14.96 second run. He finished third in this meet, but Gout Gout was up against the Olympic 100 metre champion Noah Lyles from the US. He set the world's best time in the 150 metre distance in that same race. That was the week's big storylines. With that, it's time to get into our weekend preview. Here are the big games and events to look out for this weekend. In the AFL, Fremantle will take on the Geelong Cats. That's on Thursday, the 18th of June at 8:10. Fremantle continue to lead the competition, and they are pushing their case for a very strong finals campaign. Meanwhile, Geelong, they are coming off the back of a very strong victory against the Gold Coast Suns. Whoever wins this game will have the most momentum heading into the back half of the competition. In Super Netball, it's the final series. Both the major and the minor semi-final will be played on Sunday, the 21st of June. In the major semi-final, the Adelaide Thunderbirds will take on the Melbourne Vixens. The Thunderbirds have only lost one game this year, and that one game was against the Melbourne Vixens. However, for the Vixens, they are coming off 3 straight defeats, including a 19-goal loss to the Thunderbirds only a fortnight ago. This will be a major clash with the Thunderbirds having home ground advantage. And in the minor semi-final, the West Coast Fever will take on the Mavericks. The West Coast Fever were able to clinch a home semi-final because they beat the Vixens by over 8 goals. But the Melbourne Mavericks are coming off an absolute high. They have defeated the West Coast Fever, Melbourne Vixens, and the Queensland Firebirds in the last 3 weeks alone. Whoever wins the major semi-final will get a week off and go straight through to the grand final. So either the Thunderbirds or the Vixens. And the loser of the major semi-final will play the winner of the minor semi-final. In the second game, it's the FIFA World Cup. The Socceroos will take on the USA. Saturday, the 20th of June at 5 a.m. This game has been absolutely hyped and it's been circled on the calendar for both sides. US as the host nation have a lot of momentum going into this game. They defeated Paraguay at the end of the day 3-1. But when you look to the Socceroos, the underdog status is well and truly on. They are coming off the back of a 2-0 win against Turkey, and they have a lot of momentum and the world's attention with them right now. The media have done all the talking for this contest, so now it's time to get into some real football. That is your Sports Week sorted. So enjoy the weekend, and I'll be back on Monday with a full wrap. So until then, follow the Sports Playbook. We are your go-to for fast sport news without the noise. You can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. See you on the Monday Wrap.